What's up, Steph? Truck. It makes not much shade, or Nate, I should say. The needles are there we go. Yeah, it's cold. That's why there's a hat. I don't know if it's cold where you guys are. It's cold where I am. Alright, let's just jump in. You guys know the deck. If you don't, hang on a second. That's not fair. That's not a fair assumption. Hang on. I'm gonna screen check this. I'm really excited that you guys are like here when I start. What's up, Dan? This is like having a schedule. This is gonna be like a whole new stream. I can feel it. Like having an actual schedule. It's gonna be like a whole new stream. Here's the screenshot of the deck because we're gonna move right into matches. I just don't want to really talk about necessarily the card selection. If somebody's curious though, stop me from playing and we'll talk about the cards and why I chosen these particular cards for my version of Nightfall. But I just want to finish this league. We got 2 more matches to go with Nightfall. My version of Nightfall 3.0 with some kind of pet cards thrown in, but the core concept of the deck is there. You had the stream open from last night, freaked you out. Sorry, Snap. Well, that's one way to be here first. Sorry for the crunching noises. I made myself some kettle corn popcorn. Kettle corn is, in my opinion, the best kind of popcorn. Good luck and have fun. I can't keep this, though. There's a couple reasons why I can't keep it. The big reason being it's one, double dispel, but more so than that, it's even though we're on the draw, we'd have to draw exactly a green source followed by probably a blue source to have a chance. So I like this better. At least we can cast the Tarmogoyf. It's pretty much just as bad as the last hand. Both hands had what the last hand had the one of Ghost Quarter. This hand has the one of Kessig, but at least I'm casting a Tarmogoyf. We'll keep. And I have to keep this Sajiri. Unfortunately, this isn't how you want to use it, but unless you want to bottom it and try to dig to the blue source sooner, but we might be better off just be better off just keeping the Sajiri and casting Night. Well, let's casting Night 1 turn slower though. You know, let's be ballsy. Let's bottom. Let's bottom. Let's hope for a duel or a fetch to get to a duel like a Hollowed Fountain. Yo, what's up, Overmaster? What is up? Okay. Maybe Storm. Maybe we're up against somebody playing my Ascendancy list. I can't really think of many other decks these days that like Sleight of Hand. So. Need land now. Need land. Yeah, probably Storm Snaff. I would agree. Shade's fine. Stop having to remember unwritten names. I mean, that does help. Want to call you up on getting into Lacey Company made. Would you rather hear in chat or something like an email? We can do it now since it's just like the 3 of us or 4 of us or maybe more. I don't know. I didn't really look at the roster. But just as far as people actually chatting, it's pretty private still. He's definitely on Ascendancy, by the way. The Fate Stitcher is a huge giveaway. Yes, there are benefits to me shocking myself here with this breeding pool. His deck's all in. It's an all-in combo, all-encompassing combo. So really we need to just have next turn Night, following turn Retreat. Yeah, we're up against Ascendancy. Yeah, but no, Shade. I mean, the thing is, Shade, though, I've already, like, associated your name with Nathan. It's not, like, hard to remember now. I've already done... like, my brain's already associated your Twitch name with your real-life name. But if you want to remain confidential, then that's a reason for me not calling you by your real name. For sure, I'll call you, you know, Shade. But, I'll leave that up to you. Alright, there's the Glitter Wish. So he's actually more akin to my version if he's got the Glitter Wish. We really need either a piece of permission or just hope he's not ready to go off fully. I imagine he's ready since there's a Stitcher. Ooze would be a live draw off the top. Scavenging Ooze, nabbing the Fate Stitcher buys us a little time. His version, at least he didn't have a Caryatid start. So without the Caryatid, that means that, oh, he grabbed Metamorphose. Interesting, he must already have the Ascendancy. I've actually considered Metamorphose for our sideboard, but since we're a creature-based, or a Caryatid-based version, geez, the third retreat. There's a reason why I was only running 3 of these for a while there. Alright, this Tarmogoyf is big and bad. Let's definitely pressure him for as much as we can. They will run typically some Phyrexian spells like Ataxian Probe to really take advantage of the Ascendancy, so cutting them off as many life points as possible can be crucial. What's a better pick, Scythe of the Wretched or Loxodon? Depends on what format. Are you doing, what form are you playing? Right, this should be the Ascendancy. We'll say okay. This will be him bringing back the Stitcher. Now, if he has enough spells in hand, he should be able to. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the Path or a White Source to really punish him here for the Stitch. Now, this is one of the reasons why I don't like this version, because if I had any piece of interaction right here, which I unfortunately don't, I could totally interact here. Now, he does have a chance to brick with this version, even though we do see the life from the loams. I'll go ahead and let him see the goodies. He probably should guess that we're a retreat deck. What if someone only has a standard deck? Okay, so not discussing which one. My recommendation for getting into Legacy may not be possible for some people. Okay. But if somebody only has a standard deck 3 to 6 months, those cards will rotate out. They won't have a deck to play Magic anymore. If they follow my advice, how much would they have to spend for Legacy? How long must they not play Magic? Oh. Well, that's a pretty... Okay, so you got kind of a compounded question. Okay, I'll handle the first part. So, I think that that's true. You know, money is a real thing, indeed. It's something that we experience on this stream, for example. Some decks I just can't do. Like, for example, this Tarmogoyf is borrowed. So I understand that struggle. I actually brew a lot of my decks on a budget. This is not one of them. But certainly my Ascendancy list, although we're up against Ascendancy, is one of them. I do try to brew on a budget. I don't do that as much in Legacy because it is harder, admittedly. Unless you're interested in playing something more polarized, if you're interested in playing some of perhaps the non-blue decks of the format, which are still very viable, and there's a huge misconception that if you're going to play Legacy, you have to play blue. No, it opens up options. It gives you more deck choices, but it is not. I have seen many fantastic Elves players. I've even seen fantastic Legacy Burn players. You know, Burn's been coming back, actually. I've seen great Forge Master Mud builds. I've seen great Dredge players. So the fact that you're, although Dredge technically has blue in it, but it doesn't typically run Force, don't lock yourself into that mindset, Shades. That's my first caveat. So now I'm going to answer your second question. So what if someone only has a standard deck? So the problem I have is right. They're not going to have a Magic deck in a few months after rotation. And there was the change in the rotation period recently. You know, what is that? What is behind that? You know, it's definitely Magic is. I mean, if you've looked at the stocks, if you've done the economic research behind what's going on with Magic right now, it's still very much doing okay, but it's not doing as well as it was. So, you know, maybe there's a reason that they changed the rotation period for financial reasons. You know, I don't really know. There might be an article more detailed about them being more transparent with why they decided to do that. Anyway. Matsy says I'm seeing the wrong player on Ascendancy. Well, we have to finish this, well, we don't have to, but I wanted to finish the Modern League. His version, of course, very susceptible to removal. If I just had the Path here, or White Source and Path, he would have been going, it would have taken him another several turns. We're gaining a lot of information from his list, so it looks like he's the list that went 23rd, right? I see the Flame Jab, I see the Lootings, I imagine there's gifts ungiven in this thing, so... What's nice is I have perfect information. Anytime you're playing somebody else's debt list, you know, as long as the people around you are also avid Magic players like I am, and on this channel, we definitely know, his list basically card for card. I can even look it up and show it to you guys, but we were looking at this last night. So I know that there's 1 Flame Jab. I know that there's likely 4 gifts ungiven. I know that there's 3 Glit Wishes. This is him slaughter packing my Tarmogoyf. Just for netting mana. He's actually a little low, but he still should be able to keep going. He's got 1 blue, 1 green floating, and he's got a Fate Stitcher. He should be able to keep going. I don't see any reason he'd stop. He can loam. He could also, if he floats a red, flame jab. Alright, so he's down to his last card. He may need to loam here, actually. Yeah, there's the Sylvans. Currently you can bind a legacy for the same price as standard online. Yeah, I mean, that's a great example, Snap. You don't have to limit yourself to paper. In fact, paper, unfortunately, since there's less legacy and vintage happening, at least in the Star City circuit, there are other hobby stores playing avidly those formats. You just have to look. You know, there's nothing wrong with online. You get to play with me if you want. Or some of these people find people online, you know? And there's, you know, as for the foreseeable future, there's always going to be a place online to play. You know, in your hometown or how far you can travel to, that's up in the air. You know, like I haven't played, for example, my paper legacy deck since I went to a hobby shop. You know, I had to travel to a location. I've played lots and lots of vintage and legacy online since then and before that time. So, you know, I've only done maybe like one paper. I only had time for one paper event maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago with some friends, and other than that, it's just been online for me. What do you think about Chasm Skulker? Seems to combo well with Brainstorm. It grows quickly, Matsy. It does grow quickly. I hadn't thought about it. I feel like I'd still rather, if I'm spending 3 mana, I'd still rather Monastery Mentor. It's not power blastable. They're not vanilla 1/1s. They're prowess 1/1s. So I think Monastery Mentor probably still fits that role better. But that's a cool idea. Right, and swords would really wreck it. Yep. Yes, it would. But it's nice seeing other people also playing Ascendancy like we do on occasion. It's nice to finally run into it. I mean, I anticipate there's going to be more of this deck being played. The Face Stitch is almost lethal. He is actually almost there. He needs a little more. He needs 2 more points of so one more spell does it. This could be eluding. This could be a second Stitcher does it too. Just bring back the Stitcher. Yep. So this should pump the Stitcher. He's already seen our hand with the Gataxian Probe, so he knows. He knows. Honestly, we mulliganed and kept a crappy 6. I mean, maybe we should have gone for a 5. With information, I definitely know now that my hand is not, you know, that 6 was not good enough. But Shay, did I do a decent job answering your question? I'm sorry, I'm trying to die here. Okay. Alright, we will sideboard. What's nice is this guy's kind of respectful like I am. You know, he did take what he saw as the quickest path to beat us. I do appreciate that. Purge answers the Ascendancy. Negate also answers Ascendancy. Jace is nice. Spellskite can interrupt the Fate Stitcher. It's at least a nuisance. It's not terribly... this isn't a match for Sunlance. It's path or nothing. There are things to Spell Snare, but the Dispel is going to be a little more universal. You could also argue that you just want more universal. Also, Kasali Pride Mage is a main deck way we could advance to the... We have a lot of main deck answers for this combo. Unfortunately, didn't see them. Not a lot of their spells, though, are CMC2. I mean, the big ones, Metamorphose and Carry that we want to hit. You can even be so ballsy to cut the Dispels. And Thief's Fortune, maybe Big Jace. Kind of just want our combo. We're going to cut the Sajiri Step in lieu of boarding in the Bajuka Bog. He is a graveyard-based deck, whether he's on the Gifts plan or the other plan. He does need to use his graveyard.